And it's time to get all nifty, all up in your wallet one more time for another episode of The Nifty Show, the world's first NFT podcast, slowly creeping up on 2 years of doing this show, and also creeping up on 5 years of bad crypto with my comrade and compadre, Sir Lord Travis. Hello, sir.
Yes, hello. It's always a pleasure to do a show with you since we do so many every single week. It's good.
It's
Here
we call this podcast creep, where they're creeping up on you and
crazy. When you think about it, all the podcasts that we've done between Bad Crypto, the Nifty Show, the Bad Boys of Tech, and then some of the ICO stuff that we've did, I bet we've done over 1,000 episodes together so far.
And we still mostly like each other. So that's
it's good that we don't live in the same neighborhood. We actually, there's about 30 miles between us.
Yeah, and right now you're actually not on the island. You are you're on the peninsula in Mexico.
I'm in Quintana Roo. That's where
nice.
I am here, and it's such beautiful. Hung out in Isla Mujeres this weekend, which is the unbelievable sand. Apparently, they say it's one of the most beautiful beaches in the world. There on the North Beach, there in Isla Mujeres.
What's Mujeres?
This is not the beach. This is not the beach show.
The beaches. What's up, beaches podcast?
Yeah, well, beaches. Mujeres is women. So it's the beaches.
Isle of Women.
Isle of Women, yeah.
I love women too.
It seemed like there was mostly mujeres and hombres. I mean, they seem to be about equal.
Nice. That's good. Somebody for everybody. Well, while you're on the beach, you want to make sure that you bring the proper attire. And as you're heading into the metaverse, you're also going to want to bring the proper attire. How's that for a segue? I'm telling you what. Dynamic NFT wearables in the metaverse is the subject of today's episode. And we have with us the co-founders of Weavio, Mr. Seamus Perks and Alexander Burgess. Or is it Burgess?
It's Burgess.
It's Burgess. Good and close. I knew we nailed it there. Gentlemen, welcome to the Nifty Show.
Hey.
Yeah, glad to be here.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, so everybody knows that Weave, we can't spell anything properly in, 2022. So it's WEAV3.io is the official website. So Alexander, why don't you give us a high level of what inspired you to create this project?
Well, thanks for asking the question. At a very base level, it was my business partner and cousin, Seamus Perks. I wasn't that big into crypto until about October of last year. I visited my cousin. We were just having a conversation, and he got me excited about this concept. The idea.
Okay, time out a second. Somebody's got, I don't know if it's wind or what, but I'm getting some crazy sound that's to the point that I'm going to make Chris edit. Usually I won't stop, but go ahead and say something else.
Is that better or is it worse? There's definitely some wind.
Yeah, is there any way to shield where's your mic? In front of you? On the laptop? We just don't want people distracted from the words you're saying. Okay, say something.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Okay, there's no wind in there unless you're going to break it.
Okay. No, I think we're good here.
So why don't you go ahead and just ask the question. Chris will do an edit there, and he comes in and says words. Go for it.
Perfect. Oh, you want me to answer the question? Yeah. So I got inspired to get involved with this project when my cousin and I had a conversation about 6 months ago. And during that time, he suggested this idea of modular metaware, where you could have different patches that you would load onto jackets. And these patches would operate as keys. Right now, we see a lot of utility NFTs that have different purposes. Ice poker is a perfect case that we use as a common example that people are familiar with. In order to gamble, you needed to have a specific NFT piece of clothing, and that gave you access to the tables. So we're taking that kind of to the next limit, where people can have multiple NFTs loaded onto one individual jacket.
Let's take a look at the video that you have on your website really quick, and then we'll toss it over to you, Trev.
Accepted. Accepted. Accepted.
I'm just calling to say
Printing. Printing complete. All systems operational. Accessing data. Access allowed.
Nice. So it looks like these logos are being somehow they're like in real time being added to the jacket. Now you're walking around with these logos, and so they're like keys that are opening up certain things within those different metaverses. What's going on there?
Yeah, so what we're doing is we're taking the concept of these membership passes that you're seeing, the credit cards, the tickets, the Snoop Dogg's kind of pass for his party, and we're trying to make like, I guess, another form of I don't like another form of verification for owning these things. So rather than having it in your wallet that no one can see, you could really put that kind of pass on your clothing and use it as like a proof of ownership in that sort of sense.
Okay, explain to me why this makes sense. I'm trying to connect the dots here on, like, am I like a NASCAR or something? Is that it? I'm showing everybody all the different brands that I'm attached to.
So it's not necessarily brands, right? We see there's a lot of different NFT projects coming online, and a lot of these NFTs are wondering. We're wondering where to put them. We put them on virtual walls. We put them as PFPs in your profile pic for Twitter. We're trying to find a new place where you can have specific patches or NFTs that you like, load them onto your jacket, and you can show them off rather than them only living on your profile pic or in your virtual gallery.
So you become like a walking gallery. Is that the idea?
Yes. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, that is fascinating. So I can say, hey, here's my V friends that I have, or if I have a bored ape, I can be like, here, I'm bored ape number 3291, which I'm not. And so if somebody else has that one, they can be like, what are you doing? You're not 3291. So that is interesting. Now, are you going to have different jackets? Because I see one jacket right now. Is there multiple different types of jackets and styles? And are there going to be other types of clothing and metaverse wear that you guys are going to be building and working on?
Yeah, that's a great question. So what we decided to start on, since this kind of concept is pretty large and difficult to take on, we're really just starting with like one kind of style of jacket with maybe some variations, but really it's based off of like that cyberpunky kind of like bomber jacket look. So we're sticking with just the jacket at the moment, but we do plan on in the future doing some other versions, maybe jean jackets, maybe like cargo pants, hats. You could put like your thing on your hat or whatever you can imagine with wearables. But really, we're just trying to perfect the one jacket and move on from there.
You got to have a denim jacket though down the road. That's like the other style, right? It's like the '80s. Like you put all your patches on your
Yes,
jacket and stuff, right?
that's
What it
that's
kind of
what
feels
that
like.
was that was the original plan. Actually, we planned it like the way that I thought about it in my head, and the way that I came up with the idea was like a denim jacket with patches, and it's a form of like showing off what you like and support and what kind of gangs you're in, and kind of like it's a social kind of thing at the same time. And really the jean jacket was like the original concept, but we moved into the bomber jacket just for 3D kind of like it's a lot easier to create like a really nice 3D bomber jacket rather than a jean jacket with all its texture and stuff at the moment. So we really just transition into that for now.
because it's the bomb. That's what it is. Looking here at the light paper that you've got linked on the website, and you can see here in the ecosystem the jackets. Although with lead speak, I guess you can call them jack threats, right? It would be another way. So the different size patches here, these have anything to do with rarity?
So that's a good question. At no point do we talk about rarity when we're talking about patch locations.
Okay.
The individual patches will have their own rarities as people scale them out and decide how many patches they want to make, the variations, the nuance. That will be kind of the rarity aspect. What you're seeing there is the locations and how the size of the canvas would change for each spot you'd put the patch on. So it might be on your lower pocket, it might be on your shoulder, it might be on your back. They're just kind of different size pieces of real estate that will have to be adjusted for how the patch will look in each of those specific locations.
So you're selling for the NFT sale, you're selling the patches. Is that right? Like, are you selling jackets too? How does this work?
Yeah. So what we started with was these patches, and these are really, we call them our prototype patches now, because they're really the first patches to kind of work with the jackets that we're releasing. And these patches are going to be basically your free ticket to claim a jacket once we release it. So we have these different varying kind of patches. We have 4 different ones, each one with a different level of kind of governance, which is our other utility for it. And then really it's just kind of a proof of concept so that we could partner with other kind of projects that they can make patches and kind of see the use in it. But we're planning on releasing these and then the jacket and then moving forward with that. But upon the jacket release, we're planning to have these patches to be like compatible with the jackets, as well as like a regular PFP. So if you have a Bored Ape or you have whatever PFP you have, we plan on having at least one location on the back, like right on the back, to be able to put your favorite PFP right on the back.
That is nice. So, how do other projects, like they're interested and they say, hey, I want to get a patch? Like we have Blockchain Heroes. We want to get a cool Blockchain Heroes patch located on the jacket. How do people connect with you to discuss creating future patches?
Another great question. So we're actually opening up a sort of application process to start taking in some of those collaboration opportunities. As the operations, marketing, and business developer on the team, I've been thinking about this constantly and looking for teams to partner with other organizations, other party companies, other brands, and trying to figure out how to make it as streamlined as possible for them to bring their own utility, bring their own community, and then work with us to either figure out their design and then make it fit within the Weave3 ecosystem.
Okay, there's something here that is new to me. I see that you've got information about an ERC 721, but it also says ERC 998. I'm not familiar with that. What is a 998?
So 998 was developed like back in like 2018 or maybe even a bit before, but CryptoKitties kind of use that with their accessories and stuff. And it was a form of like adding these additional NFTs onto your other NFT as like kind of a child NFT to it. So like anything that kind of the jacket would own. So like these patches would literally be owned by the jacket, and then the jacket is owned by the user or the owner. So these patches, when they're actually bonded to the jacket, they're not going to technically be in your wallet anymore. They're going to be transferred and kind of locked up into the jacket's ownership.
Oh, so if you sell your jacket NFT, you're selling it with the patches on it. So this is how you get variation, right? Because people are custom placing the patches they want on this jacket. And I'm sure the jackets are all going to have different styles, in the future. And now you're like, look at the jacket I built, and this is for sale. Give me $1 million ETH, and you can have it.
Yeah, no, that's exactly our thoughts. It's the main form of variation is going to be the exterior and how people outfit them, and then where the way that we're planning so far to do a lot of the trait variation is actually we're planning on doing the inner lining kind of different, so people could have different patterns on the lining of the jacket. So like if you want like I don't know, like a red tiger lining in your jacket, or you want like an orange kind of like metallic kind of lining, like we're planning on having a lot of lining options while keeping the exterior kind of like minimally changed, so that we can actually incorporate these patches and it not be dramatically different jackets that we're trying to attach these patches on and make them all look kind of seamless and kind of streamlined. So yeah, that's about it.
Okay,
So
I
this
guess
is
we'll,
this
we'll,
becomes
have,
a,
we'll mark an edit there for the pause. Trav,
Okay.
go ahead.
yeah, this is going to be a true members only jacket when it's all said and done. It seems like creating a one of interesting thing. And so just so people know, you're not actually connecting your ape NFT or whatever to the jacket and building it. That's what these patches are for. You're actually getting the patch equivalent of your NFT that you will then bond to your jacket.
Yes. So the way that we plan it right now is, yes, only the patches are going to be like permanently, like they're not going to be permanent, but you're going to be able to attach them to the jacket. Then they're going to be owned by the jacket. You can remove them as well, but once they're in that ownership, when you trade that jacket, it's transferred. But for PFPs, we're planning on having just like kind of to start with, it's just going to be like projected onto the jacket. So it's not actually in the jacket's ownership. But if certain PFP projects want to partner with us, they could possibly have some kind of like staking mechanism or like some utility that when that PFP is attached to the jacket, then it could actually trigger some kind of like rewards or staking kind of benefits as well.
That's interesting. I want to see if can you have like somebody's grandma like sewing them on. You're like, hey, come on, gotta go over to Granny so she can sew on your patch.
It's funny you say that, Travis, because here in the Weave jacket, it does reference that there's a sewing machine that you use to add and remove patches.
Really? You got? Is that an NFT too? You got to buy?
No, we're calling it the sewing machine. That's going to be like the interface on our website that you interact with and get these patches on.
Nice. And of course, eventually the goal here is to make it so that these can be issued for the mainstream metaverses, or, are you going to build your own? Or like, will I be able to get this to where in Decentraland or Sandbox or wherever else?
Yeah, so we've been working at trying to solve that problem of the interoperability component, but I think Seamus actually has the best pulse on this.
Yeah, so like the way it stands right now, we really built this project based on the future and like where the future of the metaverse is going. So we know that like some of the current metaverses are not going to fully be compatible with the technology that we're trying to bring, but we're going to mainly focus on its ability to like live update on your actual NFT image. So if you go to your OpenSea, you'll actually see these patches get put on the jacket, and it's going to change the image of the jacket on OpenSea. And same with if you attach a PFP to it, the PFP may not be like in the ownership of the jacket, but you could project it onto the image, so that will live update. And that's one of our first kind of goals, is to kind of just release a jacket with that ability. And then we plan on having some sort of metaverse of our own, and then also work closely with people developing metaverses to see if we can really get the full functionality that we're looking for in some of the stuff to come.
Excellent. Well, guys, I think it's really interesting. I think you're ahead of your time here, but this is the time to build, to be prepared for when the metaverse, does go mainstream and people are going to want to wear these custom items. The launch of the first NFT sale takes place when?
We have an official launch date of the 18th of March. So that's coming up in 11 days.
Okay.
Smart contract is all in place, and we're just getting ready for our big minting day.
Now, is it just the W patches that go for sale first, or will all of them be available?
It'll be just the W patches when we start out.
Okay,
That'll
so
be our
what
governance token.
four sales is what you're doing?
Yep, 4 separate sales, kind of released in succession, but we're starting with just 111 for the W patches, and then once those sell out, we'll start building up the whitelist for the successive launches.
Nice. W, X, Y, and Z will take you to the end of the alphabet. So go to Weavio, WEAV3.io, apply for the whitelist so you guys can be part of the sale, and welcome to the future of dynamic wearable NFTs. Gents, thanks for coming on today.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Thank you. This is great.
And it appears that Sir Lord Travis has lost his bandwidth there in Mexico. Shocker. That never happens. It's actually been pretty good for him, but today, not so much. Glad you guys are here. Keep watching for new and original content from us, sometimes with me, sometimes with Travis, sometimes with Zach. You never know. And be sure to check out our new sister show, The Nifty Chicks, with Minty Cell and Jen FT. They're about 4 or 5 episodes in and drawing an audience in the way that only they can. And I'll catch you on the next episode. Until then, keep it nifty.
Looking into the future, what do we see? It's lined with digital collectibles, we call them NFTs. Games, trading cards, digital art, and those crypto kitties. Joel and Zach are the hosts, you'll know. Joel and Zach say this will blow. They're locked and loaded, so ready, set, go! It's the Nifty, really kind of spiffy. The Nifty.